Dear students, welcome to the next lecture of the Engineering Chemistry course. We are continuing with the Unit 5. Before starting the today's lecture, let us look what we have discussed in our previous class. In the last class, we have completed the topic substitution reaction. And in the last class, the topic that was covered was the electrophilic substitution reactions, in which we have learned about the definition of these reactions, types of these reactions, and we discussed that the electrophilic substitution reactions are of two types, that is electrophilic aromatic substitution and the electrophilic aliphatic substitution. Electrophilic substitution reactions are the characteristic reactions of the aromatic compounds. So these reactions are very important kind of reactions that we have discussed in our previous class. Now let us look what we will going to discuss in the today's lecture. In the today's class, we will learn about the elimination reactions, in which the definition and the types of elimination reactions will be discussed. In the types of elimination reactions, the alpha elimination, gamma elimination and the beta elimination reactions we will going to discuss in the today's lecture. In the beta elimination reactions, further the E1 reaction, E2 reactions and E1 CB reaction will be discussed. So let us begin with the today's topic, elimination reactions. What are the elimination reactions? Basically, the elimination reactions are those reactions which involves the loss of fragments or groups from a molecule to form the multiple bonds. That means with the elimination of atoms or group of atom from the organic compounds, there will be the formation of the unsaturated compound. So these reactions are known as the elimination reaction. For example, this is the generalized elimination reaction example, in which 1,2 elimination, that means one atom from carbon atom number 1 and second atom from the carbon atom number 2 are two adjacent carbon atom 1 and 2. These two leaving groups are eliminated from 1 and 2 carbon atom, resulted in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbon. So this is the simplest example of the elimination reaction. Now, depending upon the position of the two leaving atoms or the groups. What are the two leaving atoms or the groups? Depending upon the position of these X and Y, the mechanism of the elimination reaction is divided in three categories, that is alpha elimination reaction, beta elimination reactions and the gamma elimination reactions. So the classification of the elimination reactions depending upon which condition? It depends upon the position of the two leaving atoms or the groups. Okay. So let us start with the alpha elimination reactions. Alpha elimination reactions are those reactions in which two atoms or groups are eliminated from the same carbon atom. Okay, so here look at the example here. In this example, two atoms, that is H and X. These two atoms are present at the same carbon atom. So these are also called the 1,1 elimination. That means both the leaving group are present on the same carbon atom and eliminated from that carbon atom. So resulted in the formation of the carbene. So this is the example of the alpha elimination. It is also called the 1,1 elimination. That means both the atoms are eliminated from the same carbon atom, and this type of reaction results in the formation of the carbenes. Clear? Now, beta elimination reactions. These elimination reactions are also called the 1,2 elimination reaction. This is the most common elimination reaction in which two atoms or groups are eliminated from the adjacent carbon atom and results in the formation of the double bond or the unsaturation. Look at here, this is the carbon atom number 1 and this is carbon atom number 2. So the two atoms which are eliminated from this molecule are present at the carbon atom number 1 and the carbon atom number 2. So these carbon atoms are the adjacent carbon atom and the leaving group are present on the adjacent carbon atom. Therefore, it is also called the 1,2 elimination reactions, and due to this type of elimination, there is the formation of the double bond in the product. So this results in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbon as a product. Third category of the elimination reaction is the gamma elimination, which is also known as the 1,3 elimination. By the name, it is very clear that now elimination takes place from the first and the third carbon atom. That is why 1,3 elimination. Okay, so let us look here, 1, 2 and the third carbon atom. Okay, when elimination taking place from the first and the third carbon atom, this is called the gamma elimination. So when this type of elimination taking place, so one valency of the carbon atom number 1 and second valency from the carbon atom number 3 is free. Now this carbon atom number 1 form bond with the carbon atom number 3. So this results in the formation of the cyclic compound. Okay, so this is the 1,3 elimination. So it is very clear now that alpha elimination, that is the 1,1 elimination, resulted into the formation of the carbenes, while beta elimination, that is the 1,2 elimination, resulted in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbon, while the gamma elimination, that is 1,3 elimination, resulted in the formation of the cyclic compound. Tricyclic compounds are formed. 3-membered ring compounds are formed in the 1,3 elimination reactions. So out of these three, alpha, beta and gamma elimination, out of these three elimination reactions, the beta elimination reactions are the most important reactions in which elimination from 1 and 2 carbon atom takes place and resulted in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbons. These beta elimination reactions, that is the 1,2 elimination reactions, are depending upon the mechanism of these reactions. The beta elimination reactions are further classified in 3 categories, that is elimination unimolecular reaction named as the E1 reaction. Second, elimination bimolecular reaction named as the E2 reaction. And third, elimination unimolecular conjugate base reactions, that is E1CB reaction. So beta eliminations are the 1,2 elimination reactions. Depending upon the mechanism of the elimination, these beta elimination reactions are classified in 3 categories. First, E1 reaction, second, E2 reactions, and third, E1CB reactions. So let us discuss one by one all of these reactions. First is the elimination unimolecular reactions, that is E1 reactions. When the elimination takes place through 2-step process, then it is called the E1 reaction. For example, elimination in tertiary haloalkanes. This is the tertiary haloalkane. Okay. Now, these reactions are carried out in the 2-step process. The first step is the generation of the carbocation intermediate. First step is the slow step, therefore it is the rate determining step. In the first step, the leaving group from one carbon atom is departed from the parent molecule or the substrate molecule, resulted in the formation of the carbocation intermediate. So first step is the generation of the carbocation intermediate. In this step, only the one molecule, that is the substrate molecule, taking part. That is why these reactions are called as the unimolecular elimination reaction, E1 reaction, because in the rate determining step only the substrate molecule taking part. Therefore, these are named as the E1 reaction. Now, what is the second step? Second step is the deprotonation of the carbocation intermediate. That means removal of the proton or the hydrogen from the carbocation intermediate. In presence of base, the hydrogen from the beta carbon atom. What is the beta carbon atom here? The alpha carbon atom is the carbon atom where the positive charge is present, and beta carbon atom is the next carbon atom from the alpha carbon atom. So in the second step, hydrogen is eliminated from the beta carbon atom. So when hydrogen is removed from here, one valency of beta carbon atom is get free, and second valency of the, obviously there is the positive charge. So when the hydrogen is removed as H plus, so the bond between the alpha and beta carbon atom is formed, resulted in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbon. So E1 mechanism is the reaction mechanism of the elimination, in which reaction is carried out in two steps. In the first step, formation of carbocation taking place, in which the leaving group from the substrate molecule is eliminated and the carbocation is formed. And in the second step, the hydrogen from the carbocation is eliminated. Which hydrogen is eliminated? From the beta carbon atom, that is beta hydrogen is eliminated in the second step, which results in the formation of the unsaturated hydrocarbon, that is the alkene is formed. Now, next question comes to our mind, that what happened when alkyl halides have two or more different beta carbon atom? Look at here again. See, this is the alpha carbon atom, right? Now, in this case, all the beta carbon atom are the same. So, the equal probability to eliminate hydrogen from here or here or here. But what happens when this alkyl halide is of this kind, when beta hydrogen are the different kind of beta hydrogen? That means if it would contain C2H5, let us assume here, and here only hydrogen is present. So what happens in such case? Two types of beta hydrogen are there. One is the methyl group and second one is the ethyl group. Now in such cases, when the beta hydrogen are of the different types, then what type of alkene is formed? This question can be answered by the Sedgwick rule. According to Sedgwick rule, when alkyl halide have two or more different beta carbons, more than one alkene product may be formed. In such cases, the major product is the more stable product, the one with the more substituted double bond. So, according to Sedgwick rule, if the substrate molecule contains more than one type of beta carbon atom, then what would be the major product? The major product would be the more stable product. And which is the more stable product? The product in which the double bond carbon atoms are having the more substituted groups. So, when in such conditions, when the beta carbon atoms are more than one type, then in such case what is the major product? We can determine it by the Setzeff rule. According to Setzeff rule, the more stable product will be formed. And what is the more stable product here? The more substituted double bond is the more stable product. So we can say alkenes with less number of hydrogen on the double bonded carbon atom. That means the double bonded carbon atom must have the more substituted groups on them, a preferred product. Why? Because the stability of these more substituted alkene is due to the hyperconjugation also. So due to the more stability of such kind of alkenes formed, the product are formed as a major product in which the doubly bonded carbon atom having the more substituents on them. For example, here, now this is the secondary butyl chloride. So this is our alpha carbon atom, and these carbon atoms are the beta carbon atoms. So we have here the two types of the beta carbon atom, one in which the carbon atom having the methyl group as well as the hydrogen as a substituent group, while in this kind of beta carbon atom only the hydrogens are the substituent group. So in the first step, carbocation is formed. What carbocation is formed? In the first step, this carbocation is formed with the elimination of the chloride. Now, in the second step, beta hydrogen is to be eliminated. Now, two types of beta hydrogens are available in this carbocation. One is this one. One is this one, beta hydrogen, and second one are these beta hydrogen. So, what happens here? According to Setzeff rule, the 2-butene will be the more major product. Why? Because in this case hydrogen is eliminated from the first, that means this beta carbon atom. Why? Because if hydrogen is eliminated from this carbon atom, this results in the formation of the 2-butene, in which the doubly bonded carbon atom are having the less number of hydrogen and more number of the substituent group. Look at here, these are the doubly bonded carbon atom, in which carbon atom number 1 having the 1 methyl group and 1 hydrogen group. Similarly, carbon atom number 2 also has the 1 hydrogen and 1 methyl group. So total 4 substituent groups are there, 2 hydrogen and the 2 methyl groups. While in the second case, if hydrogen is eliminated from this beta carbon, so what would be the product? Product would be the 1-butene. In such case, the doubly bonded carbon atom having the substituent group hydrogen, ethyl and hydrogen. So only 3 types of substituent groups are here, while in this case 4 substituent groups are present. So which will be the major product? Major product will be the 2-butene according to the Setzeff rule. So whenever there will be the possibility of 2 types of beta hydrogen elimination, then always remember which type of alkene is formed. Always remember the alkene in which the doubly bonded carbon atom having the more substituent groups will be formed as a major product. So in this case 2-butene is formed. Now check your learning. Which is the main product of the following reaction? Look at the reaction here. Which will be the major product? Pause the video for a minute and think for its answer. Yes, you are right. This is the major product. Why? Because in this product, this doubly bonded carbon atom having the more substituent group, while in case less substituent group, in this case less substituent group. So the major product will be the C. Now, what factors affecting elimination unimolecular reaction, even reactions? The two important factors which affects the even reaction. First is the nature of the substrate. The rate of the even reaction increases as the number of alkyl groups on the carbon with the leaving group increases. So it is very clear that the rate of even reaction is in the following order. Tertiary halides are more reactive than secondary halides than the primary halides. Second factor is the nature of the base and the solvent. The weak bases like H2O and the alcohol favors the even reaction by stabilizing the carbocation intermediates. So two important factors are the nature of the substrate and the nature of the base and the solvent. According to these factors, the tertiary halides are more susceptible towards the even reaction and the weak bases are more reactive in this case. Now, one more important aspect we must discuss while discussing the even reactions. What is this? That is the comparison between the SN1 and the even reaction. What is the SN1? Nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction. What is even? Elimination unimolecular reaction. So the important thing is that the reaction conditions are very similar for both of these reactions. What the similarities these reactions are having? First, both these reaction follows the first order kinetics. In the first step, in both reactions, the first step is the same. What is that step? That is the formation of the carbocation. In both of the reactions are favored by the protic and polar solvents. So SN1 and even reactions are competitive reactions with each other. Why? Because the operating condition for both of these reactions are very similar. Both of these reactions follows the first order kinetics and the first step is same in both reactions. What is the first step here? First step is the generation of the carbocation intermediate. So first step is same for the both of these reactions, for SN1 reaction and the even reaction. In presence of the base, the first step is the formation of the carbocation from the tertiary halides. So in this case, generation of the carbocation is the same step. Now, what are the differences between these reactions? This reaction differs in the second step, that is what happened with the carbocation formed in the first step. So first step is the same, that is the generation of the carbocation. Now second step is the different. In the second step, what happens in the SN1 reaction? In the SN1 reaction, the second step is the addition of the nucleophile to the carbocation resulted in the formation of the substituted product. While in case of even reaction, elimination of the beta hydrogen takes place from the carbocation, so resulted in the formation of the alkene. So first step is same in both of these reactions, that is the generation of the carbocation, while second step differs. In the second step, SN1 reaction, formation of the substituted product, while in the elimination reaction, elimination of the H plus takes place in the second step, which results in the formation of the alkene or the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Since in both the reactions the rate determining step are the same, that is the first step, they cannot be individually controlled because even reaction often occur with a competing SN1 reaction. Even reactions of alkyl halides are much less useful than the E2 reactions. So while discussing the even reactions, the important point we must remember, that is the kinetics of the even reaction is the first order kinetics. These reactions are completed in the two-step process. In the first step, generation of the carbocation takes place. In the second step, elimination of the beta hydrogen takes place. Now, nature of the substrate. The tertiary alkyl halide are more reactive than secondary halide than the primary halide towards the even reaction. These reactions are favored by the weak bases such as the water and the alcohol. The better leaving group leads to the faster reaction rates, just as the SN1 reactions, because in the rate determining step the CX bond cleavage involves. That means as the X removes faster, generation of the carbocation would takes place much easier. That is why better is the leaving group, faster will be the even reactions. These reactions are favored by the polar and protic solvents because these kind of solvent favors the generation and the stability of the carbocation intermediate. So these are the important points regarding the even reactions. Now, second kind of reaction, that is the E2 reactions. These are the bimolecular elimination reactions in which the rate determining step involves the two species, that is the substrate molecule and the base. The mechanism which it occurs in a single step concentrated reaction with one transition state, thus follows the second order kinetics. So these are the elimination reactions in which elimination takes place in the single step, and in that single step two molecules are taking part. What are these two molecules? One is the substrate molecule, second is the base. That is why these follows the second order kinetics. For example, reaction of the tertiary halide with the alcohol, formation of the alkene takes place. Look at the mechanism here. When one bromopropane is reacted with the base. Now, what happens here? This is the alpha carbon atom and this carbon atom is the beta carbon atom. In these reactions, the base abstracts the beta hydrogen. This is the base. This removes the beta hydrogen. Okay, and leaving group simultaneously leaves. This leaving group simultaneously leaves from here. So in the single step, both the processes carry out, in which leaving group removes from here, and from the beta carbon atom hydrogen is extracted from the base. So both of these atoms are eliminated in the single step and the transition state is formed like this. So this results in the formation of the alkene. So this is the mechanism of the E2 reaction, in which elimination from the alpha and the beta carbon atom taking place in the single step, and in this single step substrate as well as the base molecule taking part in the same step. That is why these reactions follows the second order kinetics. Now the factors affecting the E2 reactions. First is the nature of the leaving group. As the size of the leaving group increases, the electron density decreases. So the ability of the leaving group to leave the carbon atom increases. Hence, the rate of reaction of different alkyl halides towards the E2 reaction is alkyl iodide are more reactive than alkyl bromide, then alkyl chloride, and alkyl fluoride are the least reactive towards the E2 reaction. Second is the nature of the base. The base appears in the rate equation. So the rate of the E2 reaction increases as the strength of the base increases, because the base involves in the rate determining step. That is why the strength of the base, concentration of the base is directly proportional to the E2 reactions, rate of the E2 reaction. Third one is the nature of the solvent. E2 reactions are favored by the polar and aprotic solvents. Fourth is the nature of the substrate. As the number of alkyl group on the carbon with the leaving group increases, the rate of E2 reaction increases. The rate of E2 reaction is in the order tertiary alkyl halide are more reactive than secondary than the primary alkyl halide. The increase in the E2 reaction rate with increasing alkyl substitute can be rationalized in terms of the transition state stability. Now, for the E2 reaction, following points must be remembered. That is, these reactions follow the second order kinetics. This reaction completed in the single step. The substituted alkyl halide reactivity order is tertiary halides are more reactive than secondary halide than the primary halide. The stronger base favors the E2 mechanism. Better is the leaving group, leads faster is the E2 reaction rates. And these E2 reactions are favored by the polar and aprotic solvent, and the final product is formed as per the Sedgwick rule. That is, the more substituted alkene is formed as a major product. Now, second is the comparison between the SN2 and the E2 reaction. SN2 is the nucleophilic substitution bimolecular reaction. E2 is the bimolecular elimination reactions. Since elimination occurs best by an E2 path when carried out with the high concentration of the strong base. Thus, a high concentration of the strong nucleophile. That means, in presence of the high concentration of the strong nucleophile or the base, E2 mechanism will be favored. Okay. Substitution reactions by SN2 mechanism often compete with the E2 mechanism because conditions for both the reactions are very same. That is why always there would be the competition between the SN2 and the E2 reaction. But how we determine the product will be formed by E2 mechanism or the SN2 mechanism? It is very simple. When the nucleophile or the base attacks at the beta carbon atom, the elimination product will be formed. When the leaving group or the base or the nucleophile attacks on the alpha carbon atom only, then the substituted product, that means the SN2 mechanism, will be followed. So now time for your learning check. Read out the question here. Which of the following statement regarding the E2 mechanism is incorrect? Reaction by the E2 mechanism are always bimolecular. Reaction by E2 mechanism are generally second order. Reaction by E2 mechanism usually occur in one step. Reactions by the E2 mechanism usually occur in the two step. So think for it. Yes, it is correct. D option is the correct. That means it is the wrong option, because the E2 mechanism always the bimolecular reaction, it is always the second order reaction and completed in the one step, but it cannot happen in the two step. That is why option D, that is incorrect option. That means the statement is incorrect. So that's all for the today's lecture. Let us revise what we have discussed in today's lecture. In the today's class, we have started with the elimination reaction. We discussed about the definition and the types of elimination reactions. On the basis of the position of the leaving groups, the elimination reactions are categorized as alpha, beta and the gamma elimination reactions. Out of these three reactions, the beta elimination reactions are the most important reactions, and we further discussed about the classification of the beta elimination reactions. We discussed that the beta elimination reactions are of three types: E1, E2 and E1CB reactions. In today's lecture, we have learned about the E1 and the E2 reactions. So that's all for the today's lecture. Thank you. Take good care of yourself and keep enjoy e-learning. Thank you.